Welcome back, everyone, to the Remote Control. I'm Robert Slavinsky, and with me today is Brian Keppel from The Far Side.
What's going on, guys?
This is our San Diego Comic-Con extravaganza episode. This is our second episode here, where our first one we covered Marvel, with the TV shows and the cinematic universe. This here, too, we're going to be covering all things DC, whether it's TV or cinematic universe of theirs.
Part 2.
If you haven't checked out Part 1... definitely go back and watch that after you watch this one, obviously. Watch that one. We cover things from Doctor Strange to Iron Fist to Luke Cage to Spider-Man Homecoming, and then obviously the big news that happened at the end. But I'm not going to spoil that for you right here. So definitely check that one out. But we're just going to jump into this here. DC, starting with TV. And we're going to jump into probably my favorite TV show, if you haven't heard me talk about this on other episodes, The Flash. They show the trailer for Season 3, and I am unbelievably excited. They have already, recently in the past couple weeks, confirmed that Flashpoint will be the storyline, at least for part of the season. Now, for those of you who don't know what Flashpoint is, again, I'm not big on going in knowing the backstory, so if you don't want to listen to it, I'm sorry. But Flashpoint is essentially Barry Allen going back and changing history. He goes back in time and prevents the murder of his mother. Now, in the CW universe here of The Flash, what happened to Barry Allen, why he is who he is when he is a child, he witnesses his mother getting murdered. His father is framed for that murder. It is put in prison. Barry Allen is then adopted by a man named Joe West, and it's kind of his adopted parent. He has an adopted sister named Iris West, who becomes his love interest. And at the end of Season 2, everything seems to be going Barry's way. And spoilers, if you haven't watched Season 1 or 2, this is a big spoiler. At the end of Season 2, everything is going his way. He's going to get the girl. However, his father was killed.
You're spoiling it for me, man.
His father was killed right before the end of Season 2, so not only did he lose his mother when he was a child, but he
got
lost
my fingers on my ears right now.
He lost his father as well. But he was going to be getting the girl, which is something he wanted so desperately. But what he wanted more was his family, so he goes back in time and prevents the murder of his mother, thus creating a Flashpoint. And in comic books, it was called the Flashpoint Paradox. And what happens is everything goes how he wants. His mother and father are alive, raising him. He's happy.
I really love the Flash. A Flash file.
I do. I love the Flash probably way too much. But
cool character.
He's happy as can be, and that's kind of where Season 3 starts. We see him living in this new world, timeline, essentially. We see Kid Flash. Wally West is actually the Flash. We see a clip of him. We see the new villain, who they were not willing to reveal who it is and what his name is. Pretty interesting, though. Much like Season 2, where they changed, or they had somebody else doing the voice of Zoom, they are doing the same thing here with this other speedster, which his voice is going to be dubbed over by Tobin Bell. And for those of you who don't know that name, he was the one who played Jigsaw in the Saw movies. So he's got that real creepy, eerie voice. Should be interesting.
Guy scares me to this day.
I'm not going to delve into it. Definitely check out the trailer if you're a Flash fan. If you're not a Flash fan, check out the trailer. It's awesome. But I'm sorry, the Flash, I just get overly excited, I guess.
I think he just like flashing people.
Maybe that's what it is. It's possible. Very possible. We do. I think the biggest thing that I want to touch on before we move on here is the return of the Reverse Flash. Obviously, the cool thing about the Flash is his main villain has always been the Reverse Flash. He's the reverse in almost every way of the Flash. And he returns and he starts taunting him in the trailer, and it's just, again, if you've watched from season 1, from episode 1, it almost gives you chills, because you're like, he's taunting him. It's so good. So good! Oh, man. Alright, but moving on, continuing on with the DC.
Moving on.
DC TV universe. Arrow. There was a trailer for season 5 of Arrow. Going from such a high of the
What's
Flash,
a sigh about?
it just didn't excite me at all. I mean, I love the Flash on the CW. Arrow is where I started. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was phenomenal. Season 3 kind of dropped off, and Season 4 was just meh. So, Season 5 looks interesting. We do know, and they have confirmed, that there will be ripples of what Barry Allen did in changing the timeline. It will show up in Arrow in some way, so it's not going to be unaffected, which is really cool, because these universes are connected. These TV shows are connected. It's the same universe, I should say. With that, though,
What's to do with Arrow?
You don't know Arrow at all?
Nah.
Again, similar to Batman in a way. I'm not saying he's exactly like Batman fans, so don't freak out at me right now.
So he's exactly like Batman?
Oh, I hate you. No, he is, he comes from a rich family. He's a playboy billionaire, and that's kind of the similarities with Bruce Wayne and Batman. Now, in the CW show Arrow, he is on a boat trip with his father, and he gets shipwrecked onto an island, and he is presumed dead for 5 years. He comes back, as some people say, he comes back to life. He comes back to Starling City. It's called Starling City at the time, and he takes on the persona of Arrow, not Green Arrow, which he's known in the comics.
So is that like
Arrow.
Next to Gotham and Metropolis?
They don't really explain where these cities are in. DC never explains. Batman vs Superman, that movie, is the first time you ever get an explanation where two cities are in conjunction with each other, Gotham and Metropolis. And they're basically right across. They're almost like twin cities in that movie, which is kind of cool. But in this universe, they don't really explain too much where the cities are. But he comes back and he's a vigilante. He goes around, his big saying in the first season is,
I'm Batman.
No, he finds the person that he wants to, dual justice on, and he says the person's name, and he goes, "You have failed this city." That's kind of his big thing in the first season, and then he changes, and he adapts and becomes in a little bit different. He evolves as a character, and last season he finally became the Green Arrow, which everybody was excited about. But
so he's like a mix between Batman and the Green Lantern?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, Green Arrow has always been a thing.
I don't get it. I really don't.
He shoots a bow and arrow. He's a vigilante, and he's in the series he was rich. He lost all his money at one point.
Like Batman.
Well, Batman didn't. God damn it.
There's Arrow fans hating us right now.
Or Batman fans. Batman fans hate whenever you compare Arrow to Batman. It's kind of humorous.
They should be like happy though, because it's Batman, and you're like, totally ripped off Batman.
For the most part, yeah. Now, last season, spoilers. Just if you haven't watched season 4, spoiler-tastic right now. So don't listen right now. Wait about 30 seconds, 40 seconds.
Not listening.
Katie Cassidy, who plays Black Canary, has been slotted to return to not just the Arrowverse, but across all of the CW DC shows in some capacity. If you watched season 4, you know that she was killed by Damien Dark, the villain of season 4, and that she did die. but she will be back in some capacity. I'm just going to leave it there. But moving on, that was
weird.
that was Arrow. Legends of Tomorrow, they showed a little trailer of that. Now, Legends of Tomorrow, the first season was interesting. I won't say it was great, but it wasn't terrible. They tried a little too hard, I think, with the show. But it's building the universe, so I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. I am.
It doesn't sound like it.
I am excited for Season 2 because they have officially announced that the Justice Society of America will be a part of the show, which is kind of an early, for you, Brian, just to dumb it down a little bit, it's an early version of the Justice League.
Hey, are you saying I'm dumb?
When it comes to comics, a little bit. A little bit, not all the way. I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm not
Don't hate
immersed. I'm not immersed.
me. Yeah, we'll go that way. But the Justice Society of America...
I am not an initiate of the comic book world.
Not really sure all of the different characters that will be a part of the Justice Society, but I am looking forward to it. They also have hinted to the Legion of Doom. Do you remember? Do you remember the old superhero Friends, the Super Friends show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Legion of Doom.
Why are they hanging out in a swamp?
Who would think to look for him in a swamp?
I think it's got something to do with real estate prices.
And back at the Legion of Doom. Anyways. Oh, Jesus.
I think the Legion of Doom, they totally got a better hideout.
Yeah.
And,
Super Friends?
Yeah. Isn't there like a monkey with like a cape at some point?
I don't know. The Super Friends show was, I mean, look when it was made. What was it, the 60s? I think they were all on psychedelics when they were making that.
Yeah.
With the trailer, though, they do kind of show a little bit of what they're going for. The one thing that concerned me, while I do have a lot of interest in Season 2 because it looks interesting, they showed us a villain of the next season, and it kind of concerned me because it's the villain from Season 4 of Arrow. And spoilers again, but Arrow kills the villain of Season 4. So how is he back? And
He didn't really kill him.
Is this something that has changed because of the Flashpoint, maybe? I don't know. But...
Dude, Rita Repulsa came back and started terrorizing the Power Rangers. Why can't this happen?
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. So, I mean, obviously when it comes to the TV universe of DC, they've got some good shows. I thought
you liked cliffhangers.
I do like cliffhangers.
Well, this is like a big cliffhanger, man.
This isn't a big cliffhanger. It kind of just is like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Hanger. So, like, what I mean? What do you mean? They're back.
Yeah,
the dude's
I
back.
guess
Oh, my God.
I guess so. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just not as into that show, or as Arrow, as I am the Flash.
It's not the Flash.
Exactly.
I bet you Arrow's totally awesome.
Arrow's pretty cool. It is cool. I mean, I enjoy the show. It's not the Flash.
You totally have a Flash bias right now.
I do. It's pretty bad. It's real bad.
I think you got medications for Flash.
Now, there wasn't much more when it came to the TV universe of things. They've got their thing going. It's going well. But moving on to film, I'm going to touch on a movie that's coming out in about a week and a half, actually less, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. I don't know, a week. I don't know. It's coming out soon. Suicide Squad. They released...
So awesome.
I know. They released a new trailer with a bunch of new footage. I will put the link somewhere at the bottom probably here. There was also some new footage shown on Conan O'Brien on his show. Again, this movie just looks fantastic. Here's a little tidbit into how much I'm excited about this. I named my daughter Harley Quinn. So that's why, I mean, and I named my daughter 2 years before this movie was even announced. So I'm not one of those ones that's like, oh, Harley Quinn, I'm going to name my daughter. No, I've been a fan of Harley Quinn.
What's the matter, Mr. J?
But the
I
trailer...
like the old classic Harley Quinn.
From the Batman animated series? Yeah. Tara Strong,
I love,
the voice of her, was fantastic.
Harley Quinn all the way back then.
Yeah, so have I. Well, I mean, that's where
I think
she was
everybody
introduced.
did.
I mean, she wasn't in comics prior to that. That was a character specifically made for the show. And she was such a hit that they made a comic book series of just a Harley Quinn comic book series. Then she became one of the founding members of the Suicide Squad. I mean, it was just...
She's like innocent, violent, and a psychopath.
Yeah.
What every man loves in a woman.
And I tell you what, Margot Robbie, man, she's...
Dude, yeah.
Wow.
She pulls it off.
But also the other chick who plays Enchantress, Cara Delevingne, I think is her name, or Cara Delevingne, she is something to look at too. So we at least got some eye candy in this movie.
I think it's Cara Delevingne.
Delevingne, is that what it is?
Yeah. She's pretty hot. She's a model.
This movie just looks fantastic. I'm so pumped that it's only days away. I'm just so excited about it. I'm going to say this. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say this. Jai Courtney, who plays Captain Boomerang, will steal the show. He is going to be the character that everybody talks about after the movie. I really think so. I know a lot of people aren't big on Jai Courtney after his Terminator Genesis flop, and what else was he in? He was in one of the Die Hard films. I mean, he hasn't been able to take on that action role, but I think they've been miscasting him. I think they need to use him more as a comedian, and that's definitely what they're doing with Captain Boomerang. I'm excited for that. This is also exciting because it's a different take on the superhero genre.
What do you think about Millennium?
I think they wanted to get a big name, and I think that's why they went with him. You know, Margot Robbie, she isn't a huge name yet. Jai Courtney's not a big name. The only other big name that they really got was Jared Leto, and he's playing the Joker, obviously, but he is not a big part of the movie. So they wanted to get somebody who would be a big part of the movie that's a big name.
Do you think the Joker's going to get his own film at one point?
I think so. I do. I think that they're going to...
I think he deserves it. I think he's like a really good villain.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this movie is going to decide that, because this movie is such a different type of genre for superhero films. You know, it's not...
I was kind of like hesitant to like this version of Joker, because, you know, Heath Ledger, like, he knocked it out of the park with that Joker.
He did.
And we don't have him anymore. He's not around anymore, so... And I was like, you think they could have clued us into who he was enough with the ha-ha-has and the jokes on you, like his tattoos and stuff. But I didn't really understand the style of the film at the point when they first introduced him. And now that I see it, like the color schemes and just the camera work and stuff, so far, you know, what they've released, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. And again, what I'm trying to say with it is, it's a different film. It is different. I mean, we have not had a movie that is anything like this when it comes to superheroes. We just haven't. We've had the anti-hero like Deadpool. We've had the ragtag team of Guardians of the Galaxy, but we've never had a superhero movie that is just bad guys. I mean, yeah, Batman is in the film. Probably not a lot of the film, but he is in the film. I mean,
he's probably going to come and just put the whole play of the movie to an end, you know, right at the end, and they'll all go back to Arkham.
No, from what I understand, he's actually in a flashback scene, from what I've gathered and what some people have gathered, on how Harley Quinn is actually captured. That's kind of what the rumor is going around. So he may be in at the end as well. Who knows? But I guess we'll find out in a few days here. But I don't know. I don't know if my body's ready for this. I'm so excited for it.
Your body?
I just don't know. I'm excited for it. So I will definitely be doing a review of that movie after it comes out. I will be seeing it the day it comes out, and probably that night sometime I will have a review up, so be on the lookout for that. Now, kind of moving off of the actual film universe for a second here, I want to throw this in here. The Lego Batman movie trailer released.
So funny. Like, have you seen it? It's like, jeez. Like, I don't know. Just say what you're going to say, and then I'll say what I got to say.
It's just good fun. That's what it is. They're taking something that has been so serious now for the past, 10 years since Christopher Nolan took over the series, and they're taking Batman and they're making it fun and just ridiculous. And again, it's Lego, so it's already fun. And come on, Will Arnett is the voice of Batman. You have Michael Cera, the voice of Robin, and then the Joker is voiced by Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Just ridiculous.
I think they definitely saw the writing on the wall with the Lego movie, and the best part that came out of that movie was Batman, for sure.
Yeah.
Just like the whole bit was just being like some jackass Batman, like, oh man, it's done so well. Mm-hmm. And you could take your kids to go see it. Like, it's fun for the whole family. I just really think this is going to be a huge film. I think everybody's going to fall in love with this one.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for it. I think it comes out next year, so it's still a ways away, but it's going to be a good time. Sticking with Batman, they have announced some information on the upcoming Batman movie. They're tentatively titled The Batman. Ben Affleck has been confirmed as the director of the film. There still has not been a release date, but it's kind of thought that it might be coming out in 2019. They were showing some symbols at Comic-Con, and they showed the Flash film logo, which is coming out in 2018, and then they showed the Batman symbol, and then they showed the Cyborg film logo, which comes out in 2020. So it kind of would just make sense. You show the Flash 2018, Batman 2019, Cyborg 2020. So there's that. Not much more on the Batman solo movie, but that. I know Ben Affleck said a few weeks back, maybe about a month ago, that he has a script. It's not finished. It's not where he wants it to be, but he does have a script. So
I think he's definitely going to take the reins on this one, because they didn't let him make the changes he wanted to do with Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Which probably really would have saved the film, from what I understand.
And they've given him a lot more control on Justice League. So
I think he probably gave him an ultimatum, like, you give me some control or I'm out.
Yeah. Here's a crazy thought, too. Just think of this. It took us, 6 years to get Christian Bale to be in 3 different movies as Batman. This Ben Affleck, in this span of 2 years, will have been in 3 different movies as Batman. Just think of that for a second. Like, that's just crazy.
I think they should have. What's the version of Batman that comes after Bruce Wayne?
What do you mean?
Darkwing or something like that?
Nightwing?
Yeah, Nightwing.
Darkwing Duck? Not Darkwing Duck.
But I think they should, like, with the Christian Bale one, they should have kept that going, but just had him like as cameos with
well, Christian Bale said he was done.
Kind of Batman.
Christian Bale said he was done. If you're talking about Joseph Gordon-Levitt or Levitt or whatever his name is,
well, he was Robin. So
well, kind of. His birth name was Robin. It was kind of a mess. It was a good movie. I like it. I still think it's the best of the 3. Just that ending part there with him was kind of like, really? That's how you're going to do it?
I think it was kind of like, maybe they should have made it like an Easter egg. Maybe. Where they showed like his birth certificate, you know what I mean?
Or his ID or something, yeah. He doesn't actually say, or the lady doesn't say, oh, your name, I like it, why don't you use it, you know?
Yeah.
But whatever, it is what it is. I like the idea that they're keeping Batman, and they got a new Batman. Ben Affleck is perfection. I think he is the best Batman that we've had ever. Yes, even better than Adam West. So definitely looking forward to the Batman Solo film. And again, we're going to get a whole bunch of Batman prior. I mean, he's in the Justice League movie that's coming out. He's in Suicide Squad. He was already in Batman vs Superman. So we got a whole bunch of Batman. Definitely looking forward to that.
Do you think? I know you're going to touch on it. I don't know how you have this set up, but do you think that maybe Bruce Wayne's parents will be in the Wonder Woman film?
No. Not at all.
Like, how cool would that be? Like,
not possible. I mean, I guess it could be possible, but not. I don't think it's going to happen.
Should be.
I guess.
Just because.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? We got a bunch of crossovers.
The thing with Wonder Woman, which I'm getting to Wonder Woman right now, actually. Real quick, Friday night they revealed a poster for Wonder Woman. I think it's beautifully made. It shows Wonder Woman basically just her sword in hand, standing, and behind her is just a blue sky, and does that look like some fog there? I don't know, but it's just a beautiful picture. It really is. I can't say it enough. I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Power, grace, wisdom, wonder, like...
Yeah. I mean...
it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
So what's going on with this one?
And, you know, I think everybody kind of assumed that we were going to get a Wonder Woman trailer at Comic-Con. I kind of assumed it. So the fact that they actually released it on Saturday was amazing. And it was released with thunderous applause. The film looks fantastic. Fantastic.
I think it's about time that they released a movie with, like, a main role for a woman that's strong and independent and more than capable.
Yeah, and it's huge that they beat Marvel to the punch with this. They definitely have decided Wonder Woman is going to be one of our flagship movies. She's a founding member of the Justice League. We have to get a movie of her out. And
I just really like the look of it too.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
It got like that gritty, dark feel. It got like, you know, action. It seems like it got adventure, maybe a little bit of romance, some mystery. You know. Yeah,
I mean, watch the trailer.
I think Wonder Woman is getting A++ treatment here.
Yeah, definitely. I look. I did a reaction and review of the trailer. You can find on our YouTube channel. Watch that. I am just in awe of this trailer. I am so excited for this film. It's unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of dumbfounded in a way with this trailer because it's so good. Robin Wright. I mean, she's in the movie, and I mean, while she's only in parts of the trailer, she looks fantastic, and just the presence that she brings to
totally draws you in. It even if you're like female comic book characters, but you know, this right here, you watch it and you're like, holy. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, wow, like, and it's not just like a teaser either. Like, it gives you a lot of meat and potatoes. Like, feeds you a lot for sure. Like,
yeah,
I think this is going to be a really great movie.
It's going to be awesome. And
I was blown away. I was. I think if you haven't seen the trailer, you will be too.
Chris Pine plays Steve Trevor, who becomes Wonder Woman's love interest. It kind of seems he's going to be sort of the comic relief of the film, slightly. Not like a goofy comic relief, but, you know, just those throwaway lines that just are a little humorous here to get you to have a little bit of a chuckle, kind of taking away from the dark tone of Batman vs. Superman.
I have a feeling like he will be killed in battle or something, and
yeah, now again,
that's what's going to make Wonder Woman come out and do her thing, and like maybe she wasn't involved in what was happening in the World War, and because of the loss of him, it's going to force her to go out and fight for good, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, this takes place roughly 100 years in the past, during World War I. So we're talking. That's why Brian, Batman's parents can't be in it because they're alive until the 80s. They die in the 80s. They would be pretty old then at that time. Especially if you've seen Batman vs Superman, they don't look that old.
I'm thinking of like the original Batman, like because the Batman came out post-war.
Yeah. I mean, if they do a flash forward, which is possible, they may show Wonder Woman after, what happened to her after World War One, where she's at in the future. Maybe it's possible. But
if you look at the style,
I doubt they're going to show
it seemed like it was like in the original Batman, like it seemed like it was like the roaring 20s when his parents were shot down and murdered in the streets.
Yeah.
It was like that dark, gritty, like
they're not going to connect a movie that has nothing to do with the universe, though. So
they should. It should just be like they're in the ballroom dancing, and it's just like a little thing they put in there.
I doubt it. But
damn it, they should do it.
There's definitely some things that are intriguing in the trailer. She has a different sword and shield from Batman vs Superman. So we're going to find out. Hopefully we find out why they're different, what changed, in the past 100 years, what happened to them, and we're just going to find out where she comes from, who she is. Definitely a huge improvement from the original Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, from the, the 60s or 70s that TV show was. Definitely a change from that, so... Again, this movie is going to be awesome. 2 films in a row here.
Suicide Squad. They stayed true to that. The original Wonder Woman.
You don't think they stayed true? Or they are?
No, they did. I think they didn't really deviate too far from it. Like the style of Wonder Woman, right? Like the uniform and everything.
Yeah, they kept aesthetically it was Wonder Woman, but again, just like the Batman show of the 60s, it was humor. There was more humor in it, and again, yeah, it should have humor in it, but it just. I haven't watched all of the show. It's hard to. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I guess because I'm spoiled with what kind of TV we have now, like The Flash. But
now that I'm really looking at the poster, definitely has like some masculine qualities. Like the sword is pretty phallic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think. Maybe what they're saying is like they're doing like your role reversal, like it's normally like the guy that's the hero and he goes and saves the woman. So maybe in this film she's gonna go and save Chris Pine from the villains.
Maybe. That's Wonder Woman. They're gonna make her as powerful as they can.
Yeah.
If you watch the trailer, she takes down what is it, probably 10, 15 German soldiers in a room by herself. Which is pretty badass, if you ask me. Anyways, that's Wonder Woman. It's going to be a great film. Suicide Squad is going to be awesome. Then Wonder Woman.
I recommend
coming
this
next
one
year.
for sure.
Marvel has to watch out because
you need like a rating system for this show. I'm going to give this.
I'm going to give
4.5 remotes.
Yes, yeah, Wonder Woman definitely 4.5 remotes. Absolutely, definitely. Definitely an awesome trailer, and hopefully the movie's just as good. One more thing on Wonder Woman. The trailer was great, but you may laugh at me for this, but right before the final clip, they show her logo coming onto screen, and the music that they play in the background is the Wonder Woman theme from Batman vs Superman, and it gave me chills. I just love that. It's just so powerful. It's just so great. You get your adrenaline pumping. I love it. So, again, Wonder Woman, going to be an awesome movie. Now to the big news for DC. Justice League. We know it's coming. We know that the movie's in production. We know it's coming next year, next November. And while it's almost an entire, year and 4 months away, they had a trailer and showed it to us. Yes, they showed us a trailer for a movie that's a year and 4 months away.
Yeah, we got a good introduction to what's going on in this one.
I'm just going to run through points here. First off, they're utilizing Batman as and I don't want to compare it to Marvel, but I'm going to because it's the easiest way to compare it, or easiest way to explain it. They're using him as the Tony Stark type of character. He's the one that's going to gather up all of the heroes and make a team. That's alluded to in Batman vs Superman at the end. He's talking to Wonder Woman and says that we have to find these, these metahumans, these superpowered beings, because he fears that something else is coming.
He's like the only one that makes sense that would be able to organize it, because he got the cash, he got the technology, and
yeah, true, very true. The big part of the trailer, the meat and potatoes of this trailer, again, they don't show us a lot, but what they show us, which I think puts a lot of people at ease, because the biggest controversy of this movie wasn't, the fact that it's Ben Affleck as Batman, or it's not, that they cast Jason Momoa as Aquaman. No, it's that they cast a new Barry Allen. They cast a new Flash after we've had now 2 seasons of a TV show of Barry Allen's Flash. Kind of odd. People weren't too excited when they saw Ezra Miller cast as Barry Allen. He doesn't fit the description of the blonde hair, forensic scientist guy. He just didn't seem like the right character for it. If this trailer does not put you at ease at seeing Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, there's nothing that's going to help you with that, because he's fantastic. The trailer shows Bruce Wayne sitting in his little apartment, warehouse, whatever it is. Barry Allen walks in, turns on the lights.
Had like a basement feel to it.
Yeah. But he's just sitting there, and he goes, Barry Allen, Bruce Wayne. And he's like, okay, is that supposed to explain the reason why there's a stranger sitting in my second favorite chair? Which I thought was kind of odd, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like a quirky little thing going on.
But
there.
I think that's what they're doing with Barry Allen in this movie, is they're changing him up a little bit from the Barry Allen we know on TV, because the Barry Allen we know on TV has been a very depressed, very lovable and depressed guy. I don't know how to really explain him, because he's not quirky. This Barry Allen is going to be quirky, and I didn't know that I wanted a quirky Barry Allen, but it works. With that, I think he's a little bit like a Wally West, which is another version of the Flash, who was very quirky in the Justice League cartoon that was out the late 90s, early 2000s. I think they're kind of pulling a little bit from that, as well as, the regular Barry Allen traits. So, looking forward to the Barry Allen of this movie. Cyborg. Come on.
Cyborg, he looks bad as hell, man.
I did not expect to have I expected to maybe see a picture, but to see him on screen, wow. Like, he looks badass. He doesn't look anything like his comic book character, but again, on film, you really can't do that. Again, he is created using one of the mother boxes, which the mother boxes are what are supposedly going to be the MacGuffin of the movie. The thing.
What?
The MacGuffin, the thing that moves the movie along, the plot along. Okay.
Gotta love MacGuffin.
So that's kind of what the mother boxes are going to be, and it looks like that. If you watch Batman vs Superman,
What's in the box? What's in the box?
You see the creation of Cyborg.
Somebody call somebody. That's a Seven reference, by the way.
Yeah, I got that. Let's see, what else is there? Jumping back to the Flash real quick, I got to the moment in the trailer where Bruce Wayne throws a batarang towards him. I think Bruce Wayne doesn't exactly know what Barry Allen can do, so he wanted to test his ability. So he throws a batarang at him, and Ezra Miller literally steps into the Speed Force. Not like in The Flash where he runs and he has to get it. No, he's utilizing the Speed Force, steps into it, and the effects with the lightning and everything slows down around him. Phenomenal. Just looks amazing. So yes, the Flash. I'm sold.
Yeah, this is
on
definitely
the
a different
Flash.
kind of Flash.
I'm definitely sold on the new Flash. Again, Cyborg. Also, his real name is Victor Stone. He looks the part. I mean, granted, he doesn't look like his comic book counterpart, but he looks fantastic. It looks like they changed his story up a little bit. In the comics, he was in high school. He was a high school football star. In this, it looks like he's a college football star. As seen, he's wearing a Letterman's coat that says GCU, I'm guessing for Gotham City University. So, that's exciting. Aquaman, what do you think? I want to get your take on Aquaman real quick.
It's Aquaman. He seems like they're trying to bill him as, like, the alternative to Wolverine.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Like, he might not have the claws, but he has, like, the trident, which isn't a trident. It's a quadrant, if you want to... Because it's not three forks there. But, like, it's like, in the X-Men where they try to approach Wolverine, and he's just like an asshole on the bar, and he said no.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to go and, work on getting him to recruit. He's definitely, like... the badass. He is like the hunk for the chicks. Right? You know what I mean?
Here's my thing. They know how people view Aquaman. They look at him as the joke of the DC universe.
Yeah.
That's why they cast someone like Jason Momoa. Someone like him who is just a towering threat. I mean, he's a big guy. He looks threatening. He just looks badass, and I think that's why they cast him. Do you think they went a little too far with that idea, though? Do you think it's
no? I think they went in the right direction. Because, like you said, it's like Aquaman. What are you doing?
I am curious about his backstory. I really am, because
I think this is going to be something completely different, completely re-geared. Rebranded. This is totally different kind of Aquaman.
I think they're going to go with the story or the plot where his father is a human and his mother is an Atlantean. I think that's the way they're going to go. Because in the trailer they show him they talk about the idea of him bringing food to an island to help feed the people that are there. Maybe that's his home where his father, lives, and maybe that's why he's doing that. I'm not sure. I'm interested in seeing, again, what they're doing with him. I think he looks cool. He's definitely going to be the resistant one of the group, because obviously Barry Allen is like, when Bruce Wayne starts saying, well, I'm putting together a team, he's like, shut up, I'm in, I want to do it.
Yeah.
So I think I think Aquaman's going to be the one that's like, no thanks.
Yeah, they got to have like the balancing act.
Yeah.
Lead you on.
Let's see, who else?
I think this is going to be a really good movie.
Wonder Woman obviously is a big part of it as well. She and Bruce Wayne seem to have a bit of a connection here, where they're the ones that are together, working together on bringing this team together. I see there's one scene between the two of them where they're having a little back and forth, and the connection there, I'm wondering if, maybe not so much in this film, I'm wondering if at some point they're going to try and make a little love connection between the two. They kind of hinted at that in Batman vs. Superman, where Batman kind of looked at her, and was like, there's a little scene in there where he's like, I've met women like you before, and she's like, I can assure you you've never met a woman like me. It just little play on words that you can be like, okay, maybe they're going to be going this direction with it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, but
I think it's like, how could they not recognize her beauty? So I think they're just like, we totally know she's hot.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Like I said, focusing on Batman isn't a bad thing. It's because Batman was the best part of Batman vs. Superman. Maybe the second best part, because Wonder Woman was badass. So it's not a bad thing that they're focusing a lot of time on Batman and him being the one to bring everybody together. But that's the trailer. Give it a watch. You'll notice, though, and spoilers if you haven't seen Batman vs. Superman, Superman is not in the trailer at all. And that's because, spoilers, he is killed in Batman vs. Superman. We know that he will show back up because we know he isn't really dead. We know in the comics, in the Death of Superman comics, that he does come back to life. He comes back to life with a mullet and everything like that. And everybody wants him to have a mullet in this movie. I think it's kind of funny. But we do know that he's going to come back, and a big sign of that is they released the first official photo of the Justice League. It shows front and center both Superman and Wonder Woman. Then it has Batman, Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman. So the 6 of them are making up the Justice League. There is rumor that there will be a 7th member. Nobody is really sure who that's going to be. It may be somebody who shows up at the end. Some people speculate that it could be Green Lantern, while others think it could be someone like Martian Manhunter or even Green Arrow. Not really sure yet, but it's a possibility we may get a 7th member by the end of the film. The one thing that I want to point out about this picture is Superman is smiling. Which, again, Brian, have you watched Man of Steel at all?
Nah. I don't know.
The biggest complaint of this new Superman is he's always just so down on himself. Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Am I supposed to do this? He's always just, like, got a scowl on his face. Some people say he always looks constipated. But he's smiling in the picture. So it's definitely going in a more lighter tone from Batman vs. Superman and Man of Steel. I think that's because Jeff Johns is taking creative control over everything with the input of Ben Affleck and such. You're definitely going to see a lighter tone, but it's still a Zack Snyder film. That's the one thing the trailer gets across, is this absolutely is a Zack Snyder film, and that's a good thing. I know Batman vs. Superman was not the best film made, but Zack Snyder does have the ability to create a visually pleasing movie. He does action scenes very well, and his story, while Batman vs. Superman was a little all over the place, I don't blame him for the story of that movie, but Man of Steel was a damn good movie. And
you know what? I did see Man of Steel.
And I tell you what, that's because of Zack Snyder. I mean, look what he did with The Watchmen. You know, that story is so big and convoluted, and he was able to put it on screen, and it was fantastic. So, again, I mean, I'm looking forward to this because Zack Snyder, while he did disappoint a lot of people with Batman vs. Superman, I think because he has...
I really think Michael Shannon made Man of Steel.
Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of Michael Shannon. I thought he was
like... I'm the villain guy. I love the villain.
Yeah, I know you're a villain
guy. I think he was, like, really good. He plays a really good villain. Like, you got that stone face, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. But speaking of villains, I'm sorry, I just wasn't a big fan of Michael Shannon. But speaking of villains, again, the villain of the Justice League is rumored to be Steppenwolf, who is Darkseid's uncle. And then people believe that Darkseid will show up probably in the second Justice League movie. I'm not sure what the reasoning is for that. Obviously, you don't want to blow your load on the first villain of the first movie. I get that. But there's so many other villains that, to me, seem a little more worthy than Steppenwolf. But we'll see. I guess they wanted to have the connection to the Planet of Apocalypse and stuff like that, and Steppenwolf will do that. So, we'll see. We'll see how it works. A couple points here I want to point out. Ben Affleck as Batman. His bat suit is different from Batman vs. Superman. It's no longer the gray on black. It is now either really, really dark gray or black on black. I'm okay.
You gotta sell toys, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm okay with that.
Batman.
I'm okay with it because they've already said that he's going to have a different suit in Justice League. They said that he's going to have another version of his big robotic suit that he fought Superman in, and it only makes sense that he evolves and changes.
I think everybody likes a new Batman suit.
Everybody likes it? Yeah. Everybody did. I mean, I loved it.
Every time I see a new Batman suit, I say, hey, that is badass. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I like it. Some different... besides the color, some differences. They kind of show the six-pack, like some armor plating on a six-pack on it a little bit more. The bat symbol seems a little bit skinnier than the other one. His cowl seems a little bit different, but for the most part, it's still Ben Affleck in a Batman costume, which is a good thing, because he's the best Batman we've had. So. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to DC, I mean, that's pretty much all I have. Do you have any other things to add to this at all, Brian?
DC, you got your shit together. You put it in a bag, and you put it together, and now you got your shit together.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel needs to watch out. They really do. Suicide Squad this year, and then next year with Wonder Woman and Justice League.
Between Marvel and DC was always the underdog, and now, I don't know, man.
I won't say...
They're kind of going head-to-head here.
Yeah. I won't say they were always the underdog.
Maybe Marvel's kind of a mess, really, when you think about it. I think DC, I think they really figured out
Marvel's not a mess. Marvel
what
is...
the audience is like, and I think they're, they're really getting their stuff together here.
Marvel's not a mess. They're just, I mean, they've got 10 years.
They got so many.
8 years of movies that they've come out with.
And stuff. It's just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up.
It is. Definitely hard to keep up. But, again, I'm extremely excited for this movie, Justice League. I'm extremely excited for Suicide Squad, excited for Wonder Woman, excited for Flash Season 3. This is just a good time to be a DC.
And the Lego Batman.
Lego Batman. Looks hilarious. So, again, if you like what you heard, liked what you saw, whatever, subscribe to us down at the bottom. Press that little subscribe button. Let us know also in the comments what you think. Is this the kind of stuff you want us to talk about? I did a couple of reaction and review videos for the Wonder Woman movie and the Justice League footage that was shown. Definitely take a look at those. Let me know what you think. I want criticism, constructive criticism. Don't sit there and just say, oh, you're an asshole, you suck. Well, maybe I want that. I don't know. Maybe I'll stop then. If you really want me to stop, maybe do that. I don't know. But give us some feedback on this. You can reach out to me on Twitter.
He's fragile. Respect his feelings.
You can reach out to me at rslavinsky on Twitter, or you can reach the Remote Control at the Remote Control. That's at the Remote Control, CONTRL. Just leave out that last O there. And, besides that, check out our Part 1 if you missed that, where we covered all things Marvel. And we're going to move on to Part 3 here in a few minutes. Brian and myself, we're going to cover everything else that we saw from Comic-Con that wasn't Marvel or DC. So, be on the lookout for that. Again, this is Robert from the Remote Control, and Brian from Farside. You guys have a good night.